In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, dear friends and fellows in Pakistan, one teaching driver, one teacher who was the teaching the driving was found telling his apprentices, his trainees, that once you are on the road, do think that all the people are blind. All the people are blind except you. All the motorists are blind. All the pedestrians are blind. All the people on the road are blind. It's you only who are not blind, who can see. And this is the only way that you can remain. You can be most careful person, and hence relatively more safe as well. It was the safety was being discussed. Now this is a kind of extreme. This is a kind of extreme. Now let's put it aside. One thing is there. That thing is that if at all you are on the road, you are driving a vehicle, so you will try to protect yourself despite all the mistake, despite all the errors of the other people, of the other drivers, of the other motorists. You will try to protect yourself. Is it right or not? Is it it is the is it the wise attitude or not? As a matter of fact, this is a very wise attitude. This is a very wise attitude indeed. No matter what sort of mistakes the other people are doing, I do have to protect myself even then. I cannot think and say that since she did that, so that's why I retaliated. If they did a wrong thing, if someone else has done a wrong thing on the road, I did the same sort of thing in retaliation. So we cannot retaliate actually. We cannot retaliate at all, because if at all we do retaliate, what is going to happen? It is going to be disaster. It is going to be disastrous. It is going to devastate us. We don't have to get devastated actually. We don't have to kill ourselves. We don't have to destroy our vehicle. Rather, we do have to reach our destination in a safe manner. So for that reason, even if the other people are doing the mistakes, one type of mistake, the other type of mistake, still we don't have to make the similar or the other type of mistakes. We don't have to repeat, we don't have to retaliate with the same sort of mistakes or certain other types of mistakes. Why? Because we do want to protect ourselves. And if at all we are not responsible enough, we are not able to protect ourselves, who is going to suffer? Maybe so many of the people will suffer, but it will be we ourselves who will be suffering more than anyone else. It will be we ourselves who will be suffering more than anyone else at all. So for that reason we need to act in quite a wise manner. We need to act in quite a wise manner. We do have to act in very responsible manner, in a very responsible way. Once we talk about acting in a responsible manner, many of the people have found saying that if at all I am responsible enough, it only means that I am protecting other people, that I am safeguarding the interest of the other people. No doubt it is good, our sense of responsibility, our actions with enough amount of responsibility, sense there's a responsibility sense in it. Obviously it is going to be good for other people, and if it is good for other people, I think we need to celebrate, we need to become a happy human being. But what we need to understand is that it is we ourselves who are the primary beneficiaries. If at all we are acting in a responsible manner, it is we ourselves who are the primary beneficiaries, and it is our loved ones, it is our family member who are going to become the very basic, very primary beneficiaries of our you know our responsible behavior. We need to understand it, and now let's spread it over the rest of the life. If at all this is going to be our behavior on the road, our behavior on the road means that we are not going to make the mistakes, despite the fact that the other people, some of the other people, they are found making the mistakes, lot of mistakes, in our presence as well as in our absence. So we don't make an excuse we don't make it an excuse that since the other people were doing this thing, since the other people were doing that thing, that irresponsible thing, this irresponsible thing, so that's what motivated me, that's what prompted me to act in an irresponsible manner. This is something absolutely nonsense, absolutely nonsense. Because if at all we do adopt this attitude, we are going to meet the disaster sooner or later. We are going to meet the disaster. We don't have to meet a disaster. We don't have to meet a disaster at all. We don't have to get devastated at all. We don't have to kill ourselves at all. We don't have to destroy our vehicle at all. We do have to protect all of these things. So the reason, so the so the way to do that, has been that despite the mistakes of the other people, we don't have to be make the mistakes, because if at all we are making mistakes, we are going to kill ourselves, our loved ones, our family members. So we need to be very protective, we need to be very careful, we need to be very cautious, we need to act in a very responsible manner. We cannot put the responsibility upon the shoulders of other people. We cannot put the responsibility upon the shoulders of the other people. We do have to act in a very responsible manner. We do have to act in a very responsible manner. So, dear friends and fellows in Pakistan, so let's spread it over the rest of our lives. Now, we are not talking about the driving, we are not talking about the road uses, rather, we are going to talk about the whole of our life. So, during this whole of our life, if at all we are found retaliating, we are found making the mistakes, we are acting in an irresponsible manner, in retaliation, because somebody did that, so that's why I'm going to do that, that's why I did that. So, tit for tat attitude, it is the attitude of the foolish people. Tit for tat attitude is the attitude of the foolish people. I'm not suggesting that we don't need to minimize our relationship with someone else if somebody is irresponsible enough. I'm not saying this thing because it is irrational. If at all somebody is not taking care of us, if at all somebody is acting in an irresponsible manner, does not feel the sense of responsibility, does not act, cautiously and carefully, all what we can do is that we can reduce our dependence upon that particular person. We need to detach ourselves from those people, either suddenly or gradually, whatever suits us or whatever is demanded by the circumstances. So we need to primarily protect ourselves. So our own protection lies into our own hands. Many of the people will be found saying that it is our fate only, it is our luck only, and it is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't have to, we are not, powerful enough to take our own lives into our own hands. I think this is not a right approach at all. There is no doubt in it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our creator, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, is all powerful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is omnipotent, having the omniscience. There is absolutely no doubt in it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that you do have to act in quite a responsible manner. We are not the goats and the cattle and the cows and the sheep and the buffalo. We are not the sparrows. We are not the flying birds. We are not the chickens. We are the human beings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us and gifted us with a very good mind, with a very good brain. Still, we are not all powerful. Still, we are not all powerful. We have been given the limited amount of power. Certain things are not lying in our own hands, that where, in which family, in which country we have been born. There is no control of us upon it. But despite this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that do as good as you can, be as careful, as cautious as you can, because that is the right thing. Don't do any wrong deliberately, because if at all you will do it deliberately, who will be the sufferer, who will be punished for it? You yourself, you know. So for that reason, we need to be a very responsible human being. We need to become a very careful and cautious human being. Even if at all the other people are found making the mistakes, still we don't have to make the mistakes only because the other people are doing that. This is the approach of a common man. This is the approach of an average person. We do have to raise ourselves from the approaches of the average people. That's the only way. That's the only way to become to become a better human being, to live a better life, and to expect better in the life hereafter from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So be a very responsible human being, and never say that since that person did that, so that's why I did that. Since that person did that, that's why I did that. This is mere foolishness. Don't be that much reactive. Don't be that much reactive at all. Rather be as careful, as cautious as you can. And this is lies into our own best interest. Thank you.